What's Good podcast.
Are you ready?
Your number one source
to all the keys in the industry.
With Brianna Jovahn.
It's the What's Good podcast.
What's good?
Hey ladies and gents, this is your girl Brianna Jovahn, and we are here with another episode of What's Good podcast, and we have a guest with us. Her name is Miya Brown. How are you?
I'm good.
That's good. I'm so happy that you're here with
I'm
us.
so happy to be here.
Yes, indeed. So this is a Wild Card Wednesday. As you guys know, we do not have interviews. We have genuine conversations. So let's get to it.
Let's get to
We
it.
always start off with who is the guest. So Miya, tell us who you are.
My name is Miya Brown. I am the founder of Networking Queens Group. It's based here in Dallas. I started in 2018. It's been exciting. It's been a journey. I started it because everybody was telling me about how they go to these women empowerment events, spending a lot of money, but they just weren't getting the experience they needed. They weren't really building the business partnership. So I decided to take it upon myself with my expertise and my past with media. And I was like, let me start a business where I create events, but I also help people brand and market their business. Mm-hmm. It just blew up from there. I started in Dallas and I was in LA. I started with clients. A lot of my friends are entrepreneurs and they needed help, like building their business or marketing or, who's who. Mm-hmm. So that's what I've been doing since 2018 and I've been loving it. I'm from Dallas, Garland. I'm a mother of two daughters, two young ladies, Faith and Jada. That's really about me. Right now, I'm in a season just to serve. And I'm big on serving the community. And that's what I'm doing right now. And I love it.
I love that for you.
Thank you.
I want to take it back to you mentioned about media, marketing,
Mm-hmm.
all the above, right? When did you figure out that this was the lane for you to come in? Because I know for me, I wish I would start off in media. Mm-hmm. But a lot of times we got to do trial and error. And sometimes we start here, but we don't finish it. And then we start another thing. We're like, okay, this actually fits me. So what made you actually start with marketing and made you like, oh, I really enjoy marketing?
Well, to be honest with you, I think it started when I was growing up. I wasn't the girl that played with the dolls. I was always interested in entertainment, mm-hmm. music, and I was sneaking watching Soul Train. I'm telling my age. But I was just always interested in anything that had to do with entertainment, to be honest. Mm-hmm. And I had a love for writing. And so my parents took it upon themselves to put me in these programs outside of my community in the burbs. I was in South Dallas all the time. My mother was and still is a very prominent educator and nonprofit marketing guru, I would say. And so she would find these activities for me to do to excel in writing. And from there on, from writing, which is part of just being an outlet of the arts. And so I started doing a little bit acting. Shout out to Curtis King from Black Arts and Letters. Uh-huh. I've been in plays with, they call her Erykah Badu, mm-hmm. but we called her Apples back in the day. So it was just a community at the time in the late 80s and 90s for me to be a creative kid. And so as I got older, I got intrigued in just media and entertainment. Mm-hmm. And from there, it kind of just fell into like the media world, mm-hmm. where I ended up going off to school in Atlanta and at Clark. And then from there, I just was like, what do I need to major in? I felt like mass communications would have been perfect for me, which is part of marketing and media and all of that. And so that's how I really just kind of started. Using my resources, mm-hmm. And I know everybody doesn't have that niche to do that, right. But I think all of us have a gift, right? Everybody either use your gift or not. Mm-hmm. And I think I knew that I was good at attracting people and attracting connections. And it just fell. And it's been like that ever since.
So many gems in there, but one specific that really popped out to me mm-hmm. was tapping into your resources. Why mm-hmm. is it so important? Because I know a lot of times we try to reach out to people, but we have people in our backyard, in our back pocket that we could really just sit down and have a conversation with and learn so much. Mm-hmm. So why was it so important for you to tap into your resources?
I think we as people, even if you're not like a people person or you're shy, everybody has different personalities, right? I just feel like it's important to use those resources to learn and to grow. If you don't use your resources around you, people make the world go round, right? And like the old quote said, closed mouths don't get fed. True. And I'm the type of person, like if I want something, even if you tell me no, I'm gonna prove to you not only did I did it, but I did it better than you. Because I feel like I'm my own competition. But if you're telling me no, it's so many other people that can tell me yes. One no don't mean nothing to me. You know what I mean? You tell me no, I'm gonna find a yes somewhere, right? And that's because I use my resources. And the way you can do that is building relationships. You know, the most prominent, richest people, if you talk to them, they'll ask you, how did you connect? They use their resources. They built a relationship with such and such that connected them to that person. And for so long, I think I know my mother is one of my biggest role models. I saw her at a young age building community and building relationships and, you know, being passionate with the youth and just building those relationships. So what I did was I just not become my mother, but I just made sure that I always have good stability relationships. And that's why, like, if I do an event or if I try to do anything that I want, I use the people that I've already built a relationship with to come with me. And I also like building new relationships too. And I think what people need to do is just tap into what you love and find a community that does what you like to do and attend those events. You cannot stay home and not build a resource. So
I agree, because I know, like, we'll go to these different events and we'll get all these cards and capture all these Instagrams and never connect with not one person outside of that event. Right. So I want to move over to Networking Queens now that we got into events. I feel like everything is flowing together.
Smoothly, right?
So now that we're here, you've gotten all the experience in marketing, media, communications, and now you have this business. I want to know, what was that plan? What was that seed that was planted into you that made you create this wonderful brand?
Well, to be transparent, I remember it was like 2017. My father was very sick, you know, at the time. And I was working a lot, you know, being a single mom, and I was at home a lot, at the hospital a lot. And I was not bored. I don't really get bored easily, but I just knew, you know, as I'm artistic and creative, so I just knew I wanted to do something around the house. So what I did was I pulled out my laptop one day and I'm always getting calls and texts, where to go, what to do. Because for a minute, you know, I was outside. Everybody was at one point in their lives, you know, socialized outside, especially like around 2008, 2011. Yeah, I was outside. So set aside that. It's just one day I just decided I'm at home, and I think it was like a week. People were like, what you doing? Where you going? I need help with this. Somebody always asking me for a connection, what to do in Dallas, or like, help me with this. I'm doing this business. And I'm like, yo, I'm giving my gyms out for free. Yeah. So, and it's always been like that with me. Like even in high school, like it's always just been like that. I don't know why, but I just used it to my advantage. And I'm like, I was on my laptop. I'm like, yo, I want to create events where, and people were calling me, telling me how they spent all this money on these events and they don't come out with no kind of relationship. Yeah. And I'm all about relationships. So that's what I did. I'm going to create Networking Queens group, and it's been like that ever since. So
let's talk about your very first event. What did that look like?
My very first event, it was 2018.
And give us some behind the scenes too.
What I did was, I think this was my first event. It was in Addison, Texas. And it was it's called the Social Club. It's closed down now. It's social something, I forgot. But I wanted to do an event where like I had like free mimosas. I always had like something to do with food, because people like to eat and they like to drink. You better know. Right? And I just know how I used to be. What can it bring people in? Right? That's true. So I used my money that I had, you know what I'm saying, and call the venue. I would call the restaurant, be like, yo, can I have like 30 people in the back? Whatever I need to pay. And I would have like free mimosas. People came out. It was like probably like 30 people come out. It was like my first event. And then I would have...
That's a good turnout.
Right. So I would call people that I knew that had their businesses. And I'm like, yo, I need, like, let me give you an example. This is, I think, it's like my second or first event. And I had a married couple. It was about couples that are doing well in businesses. Nice. And how can you grow, whatever. And I had like 3 different couples. When you would come to the event, you have your mimosas, you pay your ticket. It was like, I did a real cheap. Like $15, you get like mimosas
Yeah.
and just conversation. And then you get like a party favor for me to remember who I was. And that's how I started.
Nice. So what was one lesson you learned then that you still take with you today?
I could do anything, not just me, anybody. You could do anything you want to do. No one can tell you that you can't do anything. And I tell my kids that too. Anything you want to do, you've got to work for it.
Yeah.
And I was really proud of myself. I was like, yo, I did that. And I always made sure I have my kids involved. My daughters have always been, or my family. Anybody that's family to me, either if it's a friend, I always make sure I plug them in and they're part of something I do. So they will work the door for me or something like that. Because I wanted them to see my mom is doing her thing, you know, and, you know, it's a lot of work. People don't probably think that like putting something together is a lot, but it really is because you have to have money to make money. So you're using your money and your savings or whatever you have to make something happen. Not even an event, just a business. So yeah.
I love that. So now, presently, we have an event that's coming in on November 2nd.
November
Go ahead
2nd.
and give us a little bit and what we can look forward to.
Yes, so November 2nd in Dallas, Texas, in Carrollton, off Trinity Mills at the H&H Lux event space. We're having an event from 1 p.m. to 4. This event is probably going to be one of my biggest events. I'm hoping 100 people, a good turnout, probably a sold out turnout. This time I have a team. Thank God. I've always had like somebody helping me for the most part, but usually it's just me. But this time the speakers are really helping. I have Krista Willis. She is from Los Angeles. She's an entertainment publicist. She's brilliant. She's going to be a panel. And then I have Ashley. She's an investor and she's in real estate and a visual coach. I have Patrick Johnson. He's the founder of Six Figure Club here in Dallas. And I have Kevin Knight. He is the founder of Urban Event Global and Urban Camp Weekend. Am I missing somebody? Yes, Jody Edwards. Shout out to Jody. Jody Edwards, she is also a brand strategist. So we have a great group of ballers who doing their stuff in Dallas. And I individually reached out to these people. Everything I do is intentional. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how I was gifted that, but I am like, boom. And they were down. And so
that's what your name carries.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm going to have a panel discussion. If you pay VIP, you get the workshop, which is a big deal because these people have connections, like big connections. You can use those tools. We're going to have, of course, catered by Courtney Kitchen. We're going to have great food and great drinks. The point of the event is not only networking, it's building those relationships, building business partnerships. Well, when you leave out any of my events that I've ever done, you're going to leave out with a contact. So
yes, and further that contact and build that relationship.
It can bring revenue to your life.
For sure. You don't even know. And so with that being said, go ahead and let the people know how they can get in contact with you, social media, website, and even how they can buy tickets.
Okay, so you can go on Networking Queens 1, which is our Instagram, Networking Queens 1. If you're on Instagram, then there's a link right there on my bio. You can click on that. It takes you directly to where you can actually purchase tickets. My merch is always available as well. You can buy merch for Networking Queens. We got hoodies, we got socks, we have whatever. And I think that's it. Yeah. Networking Queens 1. So make sure you follow me on Instagram.
I love that. And so we have talked about, of course, your journey, right? And I do want you to share, because you make a very, very good point, that a lot of people go to different seminars and things of that nature and leave with nothing. And they pay thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars, even $10, $20, whatever the case may be. But right now, I would love for you to share one free advice with whomever that's watching. If they're looking into marketing, media, communications, or even just wanting to start a business and they're just questioning themselves, what is something that you can leave with people that's listening today that they can take with them and either start today or take in and start tomorrow?
That's a good question. I would say find what you love to do. I mean, a lot of people sometimes don't really know what they want to do. And that's okay as well, especially the young people. They're trying to find their way. For me, I would tell them, find a community, find an outlet, and just do what's best for you. Work hard. I feel like We live in a world where there's a lot of uncertainty. You know, people are getting anxiety, and I'm really big on mental health as well. And for me, I am a proud Christian, and I believe that my faith has brought me a long way to where I don't fall. Sometimes if I fall, I get back up, right? So I would just say, lean on people who love and care about you, build a community.
Okay. Was there anything that we missed today?
No, you're a pleasure. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. All right, ladies and gents, if you're listening to this morning, noon, evening, or night, thank you so much, and we will see you guys next time.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of What's Good podcast with your girl, Brianna Jovahn. If you found today's discussion inspiring, don't forget to hit the subscribe button on your preferred podcast platform. Explore additional resources on our website at whatsgood-productions.com and find our social media links listed in the show notes. Stay tuned for more captivating stories ahead. Until next time, stay blessed and keep uplifting your community.